Hey guys, you Dennis here today, and today I'm coming at you with some tips on how to be better at Yu-Gi-Oh! In general, and especially side decking against the new deck, the one that's like fucking hopelessly hyped up right now, and that's the Mermail Atlanteans. Because as I don't know if you guys have kept up with YCS Seattle and the results, but that deck was running rampant all over, and they had I think 2 of the top 4 positions, so yeah, they're going to be a big deal this format. But before we get into that, speaking of YCS Seattle, as you guys know, the Insector's topped. So, what does this mean? How can this affect you? So I'm not completely sure yet, to be honest with you, but I have a feeling that Insectors are going to go up in price. I'm not talking, huge, drastic, Boom Hornets at $20, Gigamances at 10 each. No, I'm talking like about $3, $4, $5 up more. So you can see Hornet being a $10 card again, Gigamances being like a $5, $8 card again. So you should get them right now while they're cheap. Stock up on a bit of them. They never hurt, and they look cool in your binder. People always like Insectors. So that's one thing, make money in Yu-Gi-Oh! Another thing that you should stock up on is Defissure or Microcosmos. I recently bought 2 Microcosmos on eBay for about $6 for both of them. I got them for cheap because, yeah. And the reason they're gonna go up is, of course, the whole Mermail thing again, because Mermails rely heavily on the graveyard, so this just fucks them up like insanely. And let's face it, right now a lot of decks can easily squeeze in 1 or 2 macros, especially decks that everybody keeps ranting about. Like everybody keeps talking about Macro Rabbit, and Macro Rabbit runs macro, though it's Macro Rabbit, so they run macro. But yeah, that's another thing you guys should look up on Defissures and Microcosmos. You can definitely see a price increase in that, like another good $5-6 on them, even though they're like reprints from Legendary Collection GX and Raw Yellow Pack, but they can still be worth good amount of money to whoever wants them. So yeah, that's just a thought. Now back to side decking against the Mermail Atlanteans. Alright, so if you guys haven't played this deck Skill Drain does nothing to this deck, because it's 99% of it resolves in the graveyard. And this deck has like massive destruction power. It can swarm really fast. It's pretty fucking boss. It's like water version of Light Sworns. In a way, they're freaking hyped. And if you're going to regionals or locals or planning to go to these things, expect to see a lot of these being played, even though they're pretty expensive. I'm pretty sure people are going to be willing to go for them. So I'm going to show you some of the cards that you can side deck in against them. And these don't just work against Mermails, they work against other decks as well. So keep this in mind. Maybe these can help you, win the duel. So first up we have Defissure, and this is my Microcosmos for right now, because as I told you, I bought one on eBay and it has not arrived yet. So yeah, I already explained this pretty much. No need to explain there. This card never goes away. Prohibition. Depending on what Mermail build they're playing, because there's as far as I know, there's like 2 or 3 variant ones. So you can do Prohibition, Abyss Megalo, or Prohibition Gungnir, and that can shut down a few of their big plays. It can stop a few of their boss monsters as well, and they're gonna have to waste resources like MSTs and their heavies, which they don't run a lot of because they need to run so many monsters. So Prohibition can pretty much suck the Mermails dry for quite a while. Next up would be Debunk. And Debunk is just fucking amazing, because as you know, they resolve in the graveyard like Marksman and Huntsman. I think that's what they call it, Atlantean Marksman and Huntsman. I can be wrong. But what Debunk does is negate the activation of an effects monster's effect that activates in the hand or the graveyard and remove it from play. So this completely shuts that down and shuts down that play. And not to mention, it also works for hand traps, and in case they're running Veiler or something like that, this can pretty much stop that too. So it's a multi-use card that I don't see why people shouldn't run it inside deck 1 or 2. And they're pretty good. This thing can stop a lot of things. It can stop like Necro Gardener, can stop, you know, sorry about that, but yeah, it can stop quite a lot of things. This is a pretty useful card nowadays, and it's really cheap too. It's like $2-3. Next up we have Karma Cut. Oh, I love this card so much. If you don't know what this does, this is the effect. Discard 1 card to select 1 face-up monster your opponent controls and remove it from play. Then remove from play any cards in your opponent's graveyard with the same name as that monster. So, this card can be pretty damn sweet, because say they summon again the Abyss Megalo, and they have like 1 or 2 more in the graveyard. Activate Karma Cut, banish the Megalos, both of them, and they have no way of getting them back as far as I know. Which is I've only gone against the deck about a few times, and I've done pretty good against them with these cards. But as far as I know, they have no way of getting removed from play cards back. At least as far as game 1 goes. Game 2, you know, the sighting can change everything. But this card can honestly win you the duel if you play it right. Or like even when they try to like swarm or something and go into like an Exceed monster, this still can stop them. Just completely shut it down. And they can't reborn because, you know, it banishes, so it's pretty damn good. And next up we have the lesser brother of Skill Drain, and that is Soul Drain. And Soul Drain is... this format, Soul Drain is boss. If you don't know what this does, is activate by paying 1,000 life points. Monsters that are banished, as well as monsters in the graveyard, cannot activate their effects that start a chain. So, what does this mean in general? This can shut down about 80% of the Mermail Atlantean deck if done correctly, played at the right time. You saw it in YCS Seattle. Soul Drain and Dad won him the game. Soul Drain was just negating the other guy. He had like no way to get rid of it, because if I'm not mistaken, I believe he had wasted his MST. I'm not sure how it was. I don't really remember anymore. But Soul Drain wins you the duel against this deck. Like, you can just chill there with like 1 Soul Drain in your hand and one face up, and you're gonna have a hard time. Like, I don't know what else to explain about this. This card is pretty amazing, this format, and it's pretty cheap too. It's like $1 each. So I'd pick up a few copies of this. And then last but not least, a card I feel everybody has forgotten about, but I still cite it. Mischief of the Yokai. If you don't know what this card does, is each face-up monster on the field loses 2 levels until the end phase. You can remove and play this card from your graveyard to select 1 face-up monster and reduce its level by 1 until the end phase. The effect cannot activate it the turn this card was sent to the graveyard. So this messes them up like really badly when they try to go into Gungnir. You just play Mischief of the Yokai, you know, Genex Undyne. If I'm not mistaken, Genex Undyne is level 3, so it's gonna drop down to 1. And, you know, like, the Mermails themselves already have low. They have low levels, so they're not going to be able to do much with Mischief on the Yokai in the field, except maybe going to an Exceed Summon, which is not what they're hoping for, because they're wanting to bust out Gungnir and go off by playing its effect. So that's really good right now. And Mischief of the Yokai doesn't just mess up Mermails, it messes up windups, it screws over windups. When they try to go first turns in their Mighty and try to OTK, you just play Mischief of the Yokai, and they're just like, fuck, what do I do now? Because you just stop the whole play. Unless, you know, they have some other Exceed that can allow them to continue, but I highly doubt they do. This can stop Geargias, like stop him from going into Giganax. This can stop just about so many things right now. It can stop Synchro plays. And then when they get rid of it, and then when, you know, the end phase is over and your opponent think it's gone, like, nope. They try to Exceed again, nope. Banish this, and cool, their level dropped down by 1. Now they have, like, they have to probably wait a whole another turn, or, like, find another way to get another monster in the field and go into their play. And that's just them wasting resources, so that just fucks up your opponent really badly. So yeah, guys, these are some of the cards that I personally use to side deck against this whole new Mermail water thing. And they're pretty cheap cards. I think this would be the most expensive, if I'm not mistaken. This goes for like about $5. But other than that, these cards are really cheap. I mean, Soul Drain, it's like $1. Karma Cut, it's like $2. $2. The common ones are like $1 each, Prohibition, but you can get them like, you know, Secret Set Legendary Collection for like $1 or $2 more. And you have, of course, Macro, Gemini Macro, and D-Fissure. And yeah, that's about it, you guys. Any more suggestions, comment down below. I'm really interested to know. And thanks for watching, guys. You good, thanks for signing out. Later.